Yesterday we were discussing if Yom Tov and Shabbos happens right next to each other, do we consider them, if you make an Eruv for one of them, does it count also for the other one? Or you need to make two Eruvs, one for Shabbos and one for Yom Tov. We're talking about, let's discuss. We're talking about an Eruv you would put between the two cities, not an Eruv Chatzerot. We're not talking about Eruv Chatzerot over here. You want to be able to walk between the two cities. So it says, on Yom Tov you want to walk to this city, on Shabbos you want to walk to this city. So you can make an Eruv over here and an Eruv over there. So it says you can, but you need to take the same food that you put over here, you need to walk with it to the other one. So if it's in Shabbos first, you can do it. But if it's Yom Tov comes first, then you can do it. Because you can walk with the food. And the idea here is Shabbos and Yom Tov are not the same holiday. And therefore, since they're not the same thing, you need to do an Eruv for each one. But there's going to be a concept of Rosh Hashanah here. Rosh Hashanah, a lot of people don't know, is even in Israel is celebrated for 2 days. Now, I don't know exactly the history in Israel. Was it always celebrated for 2 days, or sometimes it was celebrated just for 1 day, or maybe two?
I think almost 2 days.
No, I don't think
they couldn't let them know far away that it could be that right now it's Rosh Hashanah.
No, forget far away. You didn't know yourself.
Right, and you didn't know yourself too.
Yeah, so that's why they will always celebrate the first day from Safek. And if the witnesses came, then it was the good day. But if the witnesses didn't come, then you will celebrate the other one. I think there was a case one day that it didn't work, and that's why they changed it. Yeah, but we'll see. So according to most commentaries, according to most commentaries, Rosh Hashanah is considered one long day. It's not considered 2 days. So over there with Rosh Hashanah, it looks like if you put an Eruv, 2,000 Amma in 1 day, you don't have to make sure that it's there for the next day. As long as it came in, it's good for both days. If it was Shabbos and a holiday, then you need to go back and make sure that the food is there. The second day, because when the holiday came in, it's the second holiday that comes in that brings it in again. And you need to make sure that the food is still there. That's where we are. Okay. Bill Mishna Zayin. We are in Mishnah Zayin, Per Gimel. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rosh Hashanah, Shehaya Yareh Shema Tit'aber. This is Rosh Hashanah that a person was afraid it might become 2 days Rosh Hashanah. You're not sure. Why you weren't sure? So you kept Rosh Hashanah no matter what. The people kept, if the moon was supposed to show on the 1st or on the 30th, I don't know, they didn't know where it's going to be, the 30th of the next month, you kept that day anyway, because that might be Rosh Hashanah.
Well, they had to see the Levana first of all. They had to see the Levana. Once they see it's coming, then they didn't come and say, we saw it.
Yeah, but it's Rosh Hashanah.
They didn't decide it.
But Aleph Tishrei is after they saw the Levana. See, think about it. It's sunset, right?
Yeah.
So do you see Levana? You don't expect to see Levana on sunset, and then Rosh Hashanah comes in, right?
Yeah.
And then the Levana will show. Later that night. So you don't know if.
First of all, the Levana has to show, and then the Rosh Hashanah.
So that's bet already.
It can be backwards.
But that's bet already. It's bet of the bet of Tishrei for Rosh Hashanah. If you're going to say that tomorrow is Rosh Hashanah, you can't. Rosh Hashanah is when the moon comes up.
Okay.
So that's
Once
it.
you see the moon, it's Rosh. But when the Edim come and tell you, we saw the moon.
Oh, the Edim can come the next day, which means in the morning. They were in Beersheba. Yerushalayim was cloudy. Nobody saw it. So the guys in Beersheba walked in. And said, we saw last night. Last night. So then they say, so today was Rosh Hashanah. So they didn't want it to happen. So they always celebrated the first day out of Safek. Sometimes
On
when...
the 30.
That's right.
I counted.
If the guys would come, they're good. And they don't have to celebrate another day.
If they don't come the next day.
They know for sure the next day is Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, that's the way it was. Okay?
Now I understand. Okay.
כבר באנו במקומות אחדים, we already explained in many places, שימי המשנה היו מקדשים את החודש על פי ראייה. They used to do the month according to the moon. כלומר, עדים שראו את הלבנה בחידושה, witnesses that saw the moon when it's new, היו באים לבית דין הגדול ומעידים על כך. They would come to the בית דין and they would say, we saw the new moon. ואחרי שבית הדין חקר אותם ומצא שראיתם נכונה, then the Sanhedrin, the בית דין, had to tell them, where did you see it? Did you see it there? Did you see it there? They saw it was in the right place. קידשו את החודש, then they made it a new moon, והודיע על כך לכל ישראל בארץ ובארצות הסמוכות, and they sent messengers to everybody to let them know. ואם לא נראתה הלבנה בליל ה-30, היו בית דין מעברים את החודש. And if nobody came in on the day of 30th, then they would add one more day, and everybody knows it's the next day. כלומר, שיום ה-30 נמנה עם החודש שעבר. In other words, we did keep it, but we kept yesterday, we kept אלול, we didn't keep תשרי. וראש החודש נקבע ביום ה-31, and ראש חודש was established for the 31st day. ואומר רבי יהודה, שאם היה ירא, רבי יהודה says that if he was afraid, שמא יעשו בית דין הגדול את החודש אלול מעובר, ויהיו 2 ימים ראש השנה. So it looks like at those times, sometimes it was 2 days, sometimes it was 1 day. Today it's always 2 days we celebrate. Then it looks like there were occurrences that it was 2 days, and sometimes it was 1 day. If the Eidim came, it was 1 day. If the Eidim didn't come, then it was 2 days. By the way, I think that also in the time, there's a story in the Gemara that one time the Eidim came very late in the day. And they already brought the Korban for Mincha. And there's halacha, you don't bring any other Korbans after Mincha. And if it's Rosh Hashanah and the Eidim came, they need to bring Musaf for Rosh Hashanah. And they weren't able to bring, they didn't know what to do. So I think from that day onwards, even everybody established that it's going to be 2 days. But I'm not sure where the Mishnah is. Is the Mishnah, I think the Mishnah is before that happening. I think the Mishnah is written before this story happened. Yeah. Yom ה-30 באלול ויום ה-1 בתשרי. So they celebrated the 30th because they were not sure it might be, and then the first. והוא צריך ללך בראשון לצד אחד, כגון לצד מזרח של העיר, ובשני לצד אחר. So he wants to go, this is Rosh Hashanah, and now he's saying, Rosh Hashanah is not 2 days. Rosh Hashanah for sure is only 1 day. So I'm going to put one to the east, one Eruv to the east, and one Eruv to the west. Yeah? That's what he's thinking. Or להפך. So it says, what can he do in such a situation? Because before, when we had Shabbos and Yom Tov, on both of them you needed an Eruv. Now you need an Eruv in how many of them? On only one of them. One of them is on a holiday in that time.
Right.
Not like today. Today both of them are holiday, but in that time only one of them wasn't a holiday. Yeah? They found out it wasn't a holiday after the fact, but it wasn't a holiday.
That's why you have this Mishnah.
That's right.
Otherwise you wouldn't have the Mishnah. Okay.
מערב אדם 2 עירובים, a person is allowed to make 2 עירובs, מניח הוא 2 עירובים בערב ראש השנה, he puts it before the holiday comes in, היינו ביום ה-29 באלול, on the 29th of אלול, אחד לצד מזרח ואחד לצד מערב, one to the east and one to the west. והוא אומר,
why 29? I thought it's the 30 and the 31 that they מעברים את
yeah, so he needs to put it, he needs to make sure it's there on the 29 בין השמשות.
Oh, it's 29
בין השמשות.
It's
Yeah.
30, okay.
Yeah. ואומר, and he says, עירובי בראשון למזרח. It says, my עירוב is, I'm intending it to be good for the east. In the first day. עירובי לצורך יום הראשון הוא לצד מזרח, ובשני למערב, and in the second to the west. ועירובי לצורך יום השני הוא לצד מערב. או שאומר בראשון למערב, or the opposite. He says in the first one to the west, עירובי לצורך יום ראשון לצד מערב, ובשני למזרח, and in the second to the east. ולצורך יום השני יזכה לי העירוב של מצד מזרח. For the second day, the עירוב on the east is going to catch in. וכן אם אינו צריך ללך חוץ לתחום אלו ביום ראשון או ביום שני בלבד, מניח את האחד ואומר, we said there's a problem in making you not a city dweller, because a city dweller may walk 1,000 amah, 2,000 amah out of any place, and if you say your eruv is outside of the city, you're allowed to walk into the city and within the city, but you're not even allowed to walk 1 centimeter out of the city limit on the other side. Because you will count 2,000 amah from this place, from where your food is. So he says, עירובי בראשון, עירובי יקנה לי ליום הראשון, ובשני הריני כבני עירים, and I want to walk after the city limit on the second day. שלא הניחו עירוב, או שאומר עירובי בשני, העירוב השני של השני, בראשון כבני עירי. So he wants to do the best possibility ways for him, so he can walk the most in all situations. הריני כבני עירי. רבי יהודה סובר, רבי יהודה thinks, ששני הימים של ראש השנה אינם קדושתם אלא משום שספקו. Rabbi Yehuda says the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, there's not actually 2 real days over here. It's a doubt. It cannot be both correct. Yeah, it's not one long day. It's either this one or this one. So it says because it's out of doubt, one of them is not good anyway. You just celebrate out of doubt. One of them is really Rosh Hashanah. The other one is a doubt. אם קידשו בית דין את היום ה-30 באלול או את ה-31, it says we don't know, we celebrate 2 days because we don't know what the beit din is going to do. We don't know. So since we have safek, we keep both.
So what do you think the beit din did when it was cloudy and they never, for a whole week?
No. It's you don't have much of a leeway.
I know they'll have 2 days.
It's either this or that. That's it.
No, but they won't know which day it was, really.
What he asked
For a week.
Yeah, I understand. They don't have a choice. If they didn't
they count. They had a count. They knew the days exactly.
No. There's only a choice of 2 days to the base din. If it wasn't shown, if there was cloudy on the first day, then for sure, even if it would be cloudy on the second day,
and you don't see nothing.
And you don't see it because otherwise
you
it
don't
could
have a din.
The edim are only to tell you which day it is. If it wasn't the first day, you know for sure it's the second. You don't need the edim for that. In other words, it's impossible that they waited for the Levana for 10 days because it can be 10 days of cloudy days and nobody saw. So they're not going to make...
But how can you celebrate if you didn't see? You have to do it al pi edim.
Yeah, but you only have to do it al pi edim on 2 days. On those, it has to come on these 2 days. The edim just tells you which day it is. They don't tell you
that this is...
That's right. They just tell you it's on the first day, and if it wasn't on the first day, I don't even need the edim now. I know for sure it's the second one. Yeah.
But if it's really cloudy, you don't know which one it was, but you're celebrating both like it was the day.
That's right, because you don't know.
Or if it's cloudy.
Or even if
it's cloudy in the first day.
Or even if it... Or even if it...
29 it's cloudy.
Oh, by the way, even if it was...
The first is cloudy and the second is cloudy.
By the way, even if it wasn't cloudy, nobody came. No witnesses came, for whatever reason.
So what do you do if it's cloudy on the 28th, 29, 30, 31, the first? Everything cloudy. Shamayim afurim.
Look, on
it must be...
I don't care about the 28, 29. I only care about the 30 and the 1st.
Okay, 30, 31st cloudy.
I don't even care about the 31st. If on the 30th of the month nobody came, everybody knows the next day is Rosh Hashanah.
So by the date.
Yeah.
Actually.
Also by the date, not
also
by the date.
Also by the date.
Okay.
But if they didn't come because they couldn't see it, not because they couldn't make a determination with no clouds.
He doesn't care.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care at all.
Whether they come.
I'll give you better. I'll give you better. You're in Yerushalayim, right?
Yeah.
Everybody sees the new moon. So everybody is assuming that somebody else is coming. And nobody comes. Nobody comes to the temple. The next day, when it be Rosh Hashanah. Even though the entire nation saw it.
No, but I'm thinking in the person celebrating the holiday, in that that case, they have to celebrate each day like it is the holiday, not maybe it's going to be tomorrow.
That's right. They celebrate both days like it's a holiday. That's exactly. But it says it's a doubt.
Yes.
It cannot be both days.
And you may never know.
That's right.
That's exactly the
No.
problem in the Eruv, that you
No.
don't know which way is the holiday.
That's right. That's exactly how
That's why we
Fred.
have this Mishnah.
Yeah. Okay. ונמצא שאחד מהם חול. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, one of them wasn't even a holiday. You celebrated his holiday, but you were faking. It wasn't a holiday. You had a doubt, but it wasn't a real holiday. You were faking. ונמצא שאחד מהם חול. One of them was a חול. One of them was not a holiday. הילקח דינם כדין יום טוב הסמוך לשבת לדעת רבי אליעזר. So he says it's not one day. In other words, the Eruv for the first day doesn't count for the second day. It's not one holiday. It's two different things. In other words, Shabbat and Yom Tov have different rules. Therefore, the Eruv has to be different for both of them. He says also over here, the first day of Rosh Hashanah, the second day of Rosh Hashanah is different rules. The first day of Rosh Hashanah is for real, and the second one is fake, or the first day is fake, and the second one is real. It's not the same thing. That's what he says. Okay? But, we're going to see, this is Rabbi Yehuda. The Chachamim disagreed. It says, what do you mean? You celebrate the same day. It's Rosh Hashanah. It's Rosh Hashanah both days. I know you have a doubt, but it's Rosh Hashanah. Velo hodu lo Chachamim. And the Chachamim did not admit. They didn't agree with him. לרבי יהודה, according to Rabbi Yehuda, שלדעתם הימים קדושה אחת הם. So for them, the 2 days are one holiness. It's the same type of holiness for 2 days. You don't know, but it's the same holidays. שאין עושים שתי ימים משום אותו ספק בלבד, שמא קידשו בית הדין יום ה-30 באלול. It says, you're right, the way you explained it in Elul, that we do it out of safek, but it says that's not the only reason. There's another reason. If that would have been the only reason, we would admit to you. But it's not the only reason. אלא מחשש, there's another reason. What's the other reason? שמא יבואו עדים ביום ה-30 באלול מן המנחה ולמעלה. It says maybe the witnesses are going to come on the 30th day very, very late. They're going to come after mincha. ויעידו שראו את הלבנה. And now they come after mincha, and then they state that they saw the levana. And then even if the people in Yerushalayim now will not have time to celebrate, to know that it's Rosh Hashanah. ולכן נהגו מלכתחילה אותו היום קודש ולמחר קודש. And that's why they established both days to be holy. The sages did not say maybe one is holy, maybe one is not holy. They say no, we're going to make both days holy. Both days are going to become holy.
I mean, why the Edim will come in Mincha? If they already know, I don't understand. Why should
The
in
Edim,
Mincha you can see the Levana. You have to see
no, the
night
Edim,
before.
in Yerushalayim it was cloudy. The Edim were in Kfar Saba. They saw in Kfar Saba and started walking to Yerushalayim. Until they came over there, it was already, it was Mincha.
So it was.
הילקח שני ימים של ראש השנה נחשבים כיום אחד ארוך. The 2 days of Rosh Hashanah are considered one long day. And by the way, you'd find in many places that Rosh Hashanah is Yom HaArichta, the long day. 48 hours it's called. It's called the long day because of this story of what happened. So it looks like, again, I have to go to the Gemara to see exactly what happened. It looks like they didn't celebrate always 2 days. Like I said, sometimes it was 2 days and sometimes it was 1 day. That's why it looks like.
Otherwise you wouldn't have
this Mishnah. Yeah.
You don't need this
Yeah,
Mishnah.
I don't know exactly how.
Two days.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it happened and when it happened, but that was the way it looks.
Yeah, because by this time they're doing it already. 2 days.
Yeah. But again, this is the time that it's happening. Right there. הילקח שני ימים של ראש השנה נחשבים כיום אחד ארוך. יום האריכתא, it's called a long day. ואין מערבים בהם לשני ימים אלא לרוח אחת. So because it's 1 day, when you put the Eruv on the first day over here, that catches for both days. You have an advantage. Because after the Eruvs, an animal comes and eats it on Rosh Hashanah the first day, it's still good, the Eruv, for the second day, because it's 1 long day. On the other side, it wouldn't have been good because it's a new day coming in. Okay.
New holiness.
New holiness coming in, yeah. V'chen halacha. According to Rabbi Yehuda says, look, in other words, Rabbi Yehuda says, one of the days for sure is not holy. That's what he says, Rabbi Yehuda.
Yeah, but I have a problem with that.
Chachamim are saying, no, we established both days to be holy.
Why?
We established both days to be holy. That's what the Chachamim says. Yeah. So I think maybe you can make it easy that Rabbi Yehuda was before the Gzera of the Chachamim, and then it fits good.
How Rabbi Yehuda can say it when the Chachamim, when they עושים קידוש של היום, קדוש. He can say no, it's the suffix, it's not, you can't count it. It's like telling them, it's you guys are doing, you don't know exactly, so I'm not counting.
No,
we have to respect the Chachamim.
It might be that Rabbi Yehuda is saying, the sages before us, that they established it. What did they establish? Did they do it because of a suffix, because of doubt, or did they actually establish both the Yom Tov?
Because of suffix.
Yeah, but he's arguing, you don't know what their intention was.
Why did they do it?
Why did they do it? He says, maybe they just did it because of doubt. No, they tell no, the sages are telling, no, they didn't just do it because of doubt. They actually established 2 days Yom Tov.
So it's a rabbinic law, right?
What was the other reason? Was another reason?
Doubt. We have doubt, we don't know. But only 1 day is the holiday.
Oh, yeah, because of the mincha, if they didn't come in mincha.
Then they made 2 days. The sage says, no, 2 days. Okay. V'chen halacha, and this is the halacha that we go today, that Rosh Hashanah is both holy. Both days are holy from Rosh Hashanah. By the way, that's the why in Israel it's the only holiday that is celebrated for 2 days. Over here, in America, the question is, second day Yom Tov, how are you going to learn it now? Second Yom Tov.
Another day.
No.
Third day.
No. Second day Yom Tov over here in America is how you're going to celebrate. You don't need another day in America because you're not for sure it's only these 2 days. Even here.
Second day of Galuyot. If you say that Rosh Hashanah is considered the 40th as a 1 day, now because you're in the Galut, you need another extra day of.
You don't because you know it can only happen in those 2 days. Even here, you know it's in Yerushalayim.
But in Sukkot, in all the holidays, do you add extra day? Holiness, right?
Yeah.
There is an extra day.
Because in Sukkot, I don't know when was Rosh Chodesh.
Right.
Over here, I don't care when was Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh can either be here or here.
You all celebrate.
Yeah, that's it. But the question is, over here now, in New York, for example, we're going to come celebrate Sukkot. First day, second day of Sukkot. The question is, in second day of Sukkot, is it considered to be one long Sukkot or 2 different days? I think that the halacha over here is like Rabbi Yehuda. That you need 2, you can make an eruv to the east and you can make an eruv to the west. Because it's out of doubt over here. It's out of doubt. Okay. That's why we celebrate. Not it's one long day.
Yeah, today is over. You don't have the doubt anymore today. Today you know. Even in Sukkot, what day exactly it is. But you still add a day.
Very good. So the question is today, if you live in your house, can you put an eruv to the east and can you put an eruv to the west for Sukkot?
In my opinion, because the Chachamim said, no, you have to...
For Rosh Hashanah.
No, but also what about Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot?
Out of Safek. Like Rabbi Yehuda says, Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot, according to Chachamim, it's out of doubt. It's not because it's one day long day.
You don't have doubt anymore, Rabbi. Today you don't have that doubt that they had there. Today you say, okay, Rosh Chodesh, boom, boom, boom.
It's because you...
In America, in Honolulu,
that's for a different reason. Also, over there, in the time of the Gemara, they didn't have a doubt. They knew exactly when the moon is going to be.
But they couldn't tell the Galut. It's far away.
Wait. In the time of exile, they also didn't have doubt. They knew exactly if the moon was supposed to be. That's why they interrogated the witnesses. They knew where the moon is.
In Yerushalayim.
Yeah, they knew for sure if it was seen or not seen. They didn't have a doubt. The only reason... No, even without the witnesses, they knew for sure. They didn't need the witnesses. They knew where the moon is. That's why they were able to interrogate them, to ask them, where did you see them? Over there, over there. Because they knew where the moon is going to be, what time it's going to come up. If they told him a time before, he says, you didn't see it. It couldn't have been.
Okay.
So the reason why they did it is because it's almost a decree. God says, even though you know, I want you to have 2 witnesses.
Okay.
So
now
today,
they had 2 witnesses.
so the 2 witnesses did not tell you if the moon was there. They just say that it's the first day. I know the second day.
We saw the moon, and now they say, okay, let's do Kiddush HaChodesh.
Very good. Now, so on all of Israel, all the holidays are on the 15th. So they have enough time to tell the people in Israel. People who are out of Israel did not have, there weren't telephone there. There was not enough time to tell them before the 15th of the month. So therefore, since they didn't know when, they knew it could either be here or there, so they celebrated 2 days. So now the question is, when they celebrated 2 days of the Rosh Chodesh, not of Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah might be, by the way, Sukkot might be different halacha, because it goes by Rosh Hashanah. But the other, Pesach for example, the question is, the second day Yom Tov that we celebrate here is out of doubt, or did the sages establish 2 days holy? They made these 2 days holy.
48 hours.
So I think that Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, only for Rosh Hashanah they established the 2 days to be holy. For all the other holidays, it's not the 2 days who are holy. It's because of doubt that you don't need. If it is if it is because doubt, if it's Pesach over here, even today you would be allowed to put in east and in the west, because one of them is a doubt. Rosh Hashanah you cannot do it because it's the same day, but Pesach it's not the same day. One of them is celebrated because of doubt.
I have a problem with this theory, because my Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot, this is halacha, this is established by the Rabbanim to do it. So now you're telling me, if I'm, let's say I'm going to start, and Pesach, you go 50 days you celebrate 2 days, right? Matan Torah. Why is 2 days? You know exactly 50 days. Celebrate, go home. Why will you need 2 days?
No, Pesach is different because Pesach is different because
Matan Torah.
Shavuot.
After 50 yom, you count the 50. You know exactly what day.
Shavuot
Shavuot is 2 days.
Yeah.
The same as this. You know exactly Pesach when? 2 days holiday. Why is it?
For Shavuot, because once you...
For any holiday.
No, Shavuot is different than other holidays. I'll tell you what. Shavuot, there was even enough time for the people in the galus to know. Because like you said, it was 50 days.
Everybody, you don't need to do anything.
But because Shavuot, they did 2 days because of a decree. They didn't want to have some holidays 2 days out of galus and some days 1 day of galus. So they says, let them all be the same. But you're right, for Shavuot, they don't need to. Because they know for sure. But for Pesach, let's talk Pesach, to be practical. For Pesach, once they established 2 days for Galuyot, out of Safek, even you know or you don't know, they establish it. For example, I'm not sure what will happen halachically today. Mashiach is going to come tomorrow. Halachically, today you can communicate, no problem. Halachically, you might still need to do 2 days or not today. But if you do, the question is, why are you doing it? Is it because both days are holy? This is what like the Rosh Hashanah, or you do it out of doubt?
Out of doubt for sure, Rabbi. You do it out of doubt.
So if it's out of doubt, on Pesach you may go to the east and to the west.
But I think that what they did, they made out of doubt. They said, because the people are in the Galut, I'm going to make a decree that it's going to be Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot, that this is not out, because today we know exactly when Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, we know exactly when Pesach. We don't have doubts anymore in the time of the Gemara, right? No. Today, in today's modern times, you have a Safek, you know exactly when Sukkot, you know exactly when Tetvav, you know exactly when Rosh Chodesh. You can count here in the Galut the same as in Israel. So why do you have to do a second day? Because in the old day you had the Safek, and this Safek continue until the Rabbanim came and say, you know what, guys, you are also in Galut. We're going to mechazek you give you strength, and do a Yom Sheni Shel Galuyot. So you have to separate 2 days, 48 hours, so you're going to be a strong Jew.
I think it may be.
That's what I think.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that the 2 days of Galuyot is like Rosh Hashanah.
Yes. Today, yes.
I don't think so, because
otherwise the Rabbanim would say, don't celebrate. Why do I celebrate 2 days?
they only did it for Rosh Hashanah.
So why do today you do 2 days of?
Because once the Chachamim established something, you cannot take it off. You cannot take it away, because you need a greater base din or a smarter base din. You don't. It's true that you think you know all the reasons that why they did it, but it says that might not be all the reasons. They might have other reasons also. Because of that, even when the reasons go away that you know about, you still need to keep the mitzvah of the Rabbanan.
Right. So today you keep a day that you know for sure it's not holy. You know for sure. Sukkot was yesterday in Israel. They celebrated and you here in the Galut on the second day that it's a chol. No, it's a holiday.
Okay.
Guys,
So
the holiday.
let's just summarize quickly.
Rabbi Yehuda is right here, and you say,
Rabbi Yehuda.
But today you know it's not a suffix anymore, so why you have to?
Let's just summarize the whole thing and we continue because we can stay here for a long time. Rosh Hashanah, everybody admits that it's
Today.
1 day, or that it's one long day, which means the rabbis established 2 days of holiness.
48 hours.
48 hours of holiness. In Sukkot, in all the other holidays, there's 2 ways to learn it. There's the way that you learn it. They did it exactly like Rosh Hashanah. They established 2 days of holiness. Or you can learn it that they established only 1 day of holiness, but out of doubt, since you don't know, then you have to celebrate both. But not because they're both holy. Only one of them is holy. That's the other way to learn it. Okay? Yeah?
Do you think it has anything in over here, or to have to do with the time zone? Because
No.
you celebrate it where you are for.
Yeah. ברם, בת, בשני ימים טובים של גלויות, in the 2 days, two holidays of exile, שלא נתקנו אלא מספק, that the only reason why they did it is from ספק. משום שאין ידוע מתי קידשו בדין הגדול את החודש. It's because we don't know, what's the suffix? We don't know when the true 1 day was holy. אף חכמים מודים לרבי יהודה. Even the sages are going to admit to Rabbi Yehuda ששתי קדושות הם, that there are two different holidays. In other words, it's not 1 day aroch. It's not 1 day aroch. You are allowed to be making an eruv on the east and an eruv on the west. ומותר לערב שתי עירובים לשתי רוחות. And then you're allowed to make an eruv to both sides.
So what does it tell you here? That actually that you know that Sukkot is the real day. The second day has a different holiness.
That's right. It's doubt. It's doubt. It's not. It's not. It then. Or even more, it's not that. You know that one of the days that you're celebrating, you're faking.
Exactly.
On Rosh Hashanah, both days you're not faking.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
100%.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why they did east and west? Because you just put 2 on the west if you're going that way.
You don't need. 1 is enough.
2 days?
Oh, so if it's 2 days, you would need to put 2.
But you can put east and west.
Oh, you would. So this we discussed. You can't put 2 for 2 different days before, and you can't do an eruv during a holiday.
Right.
So it will not help you. Okay. So let's just finish the thing. Rosh Hashanah. Here's something that we learned. The reason why we celebrate 2 days Rosh Hashanah is different than why we celebrate all the other holidays for 2 days. 2 days Rosh Hashanah, is both days are holy. Both days are holy. All the other days, 1 day we're faking.